What's cracking? First off, I'd like to thank every last one of you guys and women that's been going to the website. Alpha Lakewood supporting me right now. Taking off amazing.
To have a complete defensive scheme, you can be confident in going into any game. You need to have a dynamic run D that you can go to whenever they line up in those big, heavy under center set. We have to have multiple answers depending what formation they throw at. Now today we'll be going over 2 different setups, with the first being SS scrape 3 out of 3-4 under. This is our go-to play call when they are overloading one side of the field with tight ends and just don't have balanced sets. This does a great job of edge and forcing the runs back inside. The second play call is going to be cover 4 quarters, also out of 3-4 under. We will use this when they come out in a balanced set and can run the ball either way. This will allow us to not get out leveraged and to really have a balanced run D whichever side they go to. Now these plays are going to be so effective for us because even though they are going to lock down versus the run, they are also going to give us a super solid pass D when our opponent comes out in an under center heavy formation with a cover 4 quarters look and a cover 3 match D. But the strong safety scrape 3 can also give us very good edge heat and get us some big sacks. So I'm going to be breaking down these pass Ds in depth on my website, Scheme Kings. Those will be live on the site right now. I also have a ton more out for the Steelers zone blitz defense on the site, and this will unlock everything and make it one of the best defenses in Madden 22. So if you want to check Scheme Kings out and take this
sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the heart of Texas and the very wonderful AT&T Stadium. A moment ago, here was the scene with the Cowboys emerging from their tunnel. It was loud. It's still loud. We're ready for football as the Cowboys get set to
let's see if we get some D out this motherfucker, right?
Hey guys, I want to walk on the practice field for a minute, just kind of walk you through these runs.
From his end zone, Isaiah McKenzie. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
Then after that, I have some gameplay footage showing it, working in-game like my normal video. So we're always going to run out of 3-4 under. Now, personnel-wise, this is a normal 3-4 set. We're going to have good run stuffers. If you watch my intro video to this scheme, I run over my abilities. I have 2 inside stuffs, so obviously we're going to put one at our nose tackle, our middle defensive tackle. Then put the other one.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
I try to get a good mix between speed,
now Allen
with some run stuffers. So personnel isn't.
And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
So we start with this SS straight through.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Now this throw caught left side. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Or, wing strong. They have a fullback on the strong side and 2 tight ends.
Gain gets them right around the 43.
Fullback or receiver.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent game.
We want to go to SS grade 3. Now I'll hop on the practice here. Then also to 3-4 under, we got cover 3 forward. Now this is what I really like to call it against balanced sets. Now these plays are really for these
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. On play action, Allen. He'll buy some time right. And Diggs has it. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball. And sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
can
In
still
on the
run
stop,
deep and
Devontae
have a numbers
Casey.
advantage. So that is where we wouldn't call it instant pair, but something about like wing tight.
Following the
They have
pickup
two
of
tight ends
4,
on
here's
one side
second
of
and
the field,
6.
and then they have a receiver and a tight end on the other.
On
That
play
is where
action,
this cover four
Allen.
quarters is coming. But, okay, so we're going to
Flush to his
strong
right.
eye wing first, and this
They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3. But now it's third down.
Heavy set on one side of the ball. We're going to come out with SS straight through. Now you're going to see that auto walk down from our strong safety. See that? Now look at our numbers on that side of the ball. That is what I love about
off the play fake.
He's getting it on the line of scrimmage. Now we have a touchdown.
That was your motherfucking responsibility.
A 9-yard touchdown.
Good shit, though.
And the Bills take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive.
This is why a lot of play callers love play action in this.
Stay home. Stay home.
Just for a second, then you got a chance to get a quick pass into your tight end right behind them for a touchdown.
Defense here understands his assignment. I'm going to break that down in speaking. But
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0.
But it is going to be match coverage.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away.
Now, one of the big underrated things about run D, guys, that you really need to be aware of, something that really
Pollard elects to keep it. This will come out to the 25-yard line.
Is checking run fits. Now, I think a lot of people know about it. Some people don't for sure. And basically, how we check our run fits, you're going to hold L2 on PlayStation, and you're going to hold circle. Now, holding circle is going to give you your run fits to the right side of the ball. Circle is the right, button. Then if you hold L2 and press square, that is going to give our run fits to the left side of the ball. So if the run is run left, that'll be the run fits. If the run is run right, that is the run fits. So if we look here, guys,
so Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
We have to be careful about play action, but as the user, we can trust ourselves to come down, get back, really gauge if it's play action. So I really like to consider this more like 9 players in run fits, with us kind of slow playing to the ball either way at the strong safety position. So I like to keep a little more depth here. If they've run weak a few times, I can shade this way. If they're really running strong, we can shade this way. So that is how we check run fits. Okay, now we're going to talk about if they come out more of a balanced set.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. And there'll be a break in the action here because Prescott is going to use a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
In just base cover 4 quarters. Now when we look here, guys, I like to play base on, but we have a much more balanced look. Because it's an underset, our D-line is still going to be shifted a gap over to the strength.
They had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10.
Try to get my run game going, baby.
So give to Elliott.
You're in the panic, buddy.
That's a run to run now. And down
Good run, good run, good run.
54 yards rushing for him as he's got the
Check out
afternoon.
my membership on Steam Kings, or I have a full cover 4 quarters breakdown, how exactly it works. Type in King Reggie cover 4 quarters on YouTube. It's like one of my most popular videos. I think it's really good at explaining how this coverage works. But as far as run D, guys, this gives us a really balanced, even look on, they can run either way here, but we're not going to be out-leveraged. We're going to keep a really balanced look. And then if we look at our run fits once again, guys, we look right, we have 9 players in run fits. We look left, we have 9 players in run fits. We have both of our safeties coming down in the box, filling in the run. We have all our front 7 players, so that's going to give us a really balanced look. Either way they decide to run, we're not going to get out-leveraged. We're just going to run another QB power, or HB power here. Everyone's going to fire down to
a great start.
Okay, so that is it, guys. We're hopping into some gameplay really quick here. I just wanted to bring up one thing, guys. I actually just started a 2nd channel. This is going to be where I live stream from now on. I've done it for the last week and a half. And I'm going to be moving my live streams to twice a week.
So the field flips here as they'll go to work at the 20 now on 1st and 10.
Every Tuesday and Thursday, you can see
The give is to Elliott. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. We'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
All right, Brad, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
What do we see on this side of the ball? We have 3 tight ends.
Here's Elliott.
What do we have?
He'll get about 40 just outside the 10, stopped at
Now
the
it's going to
11.
be much tougher for them to set this edge, hook these players inside, and get their stretches, their tosses, anything to the outside. The majority of people, guys, when they're running the ball, especially if they're using 3 tight ends, 2 tight ends, a wing set, they are trying to get the edge. They're trying to keep everything inside, and they're really going to try to limit that.
Now he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott taking it in from 11 yards out.
Must be his first game of the day, too.
Point away from tying the football game.
He almost had it.
Now Greg Zerline on for the extra point.
Guys are going to be running right, so just be aware of that. Now, right here, we're going to run it. What if we
It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. These two teams all tied after one.
So what do we see here, guys? We see my strong safety that I walk at. Look at him set that edge. He's firing upfield. Yes, he's getting blocked, but it is going to be so hard for this player to bounce this outside. By then, all our flow is going to start coming. So we're going to run this a little more. Just look at that. Look at that.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away.
Linebacker from the second level.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Defensive end here, our outside linebacker firing gain away. Okay, same thing. Now what do we see? We see a receiver, tight end, fullback. On the left side.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you score points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle.
Look at our outside player here, guys. Setting the edge. It's so hard to out-leverage us on the outside of the ball there. Look at that. Edge is set. This player is our linebacker coming up and filling. Our backside linebacker scraping across
Officially
the ball.
nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
And then our high side middle linebacker
Play action.
comes in,
Now it's
fills
Allen.
that gap and takes him down in the back.
He's
And
got the
another
hook
one,
up
you
with
have
Diggs.
one tight end
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
We're going to go to our screen.
Now that was pretty.
On
They
this one,
executed
like,
that
they
curl
obviously
route versus
run
zone
to the
coverage,
right
and that
side,
changes
so
things a
I
little
come
bit because
down
against
the
man,
side
it's
a little
often a
bit here
tight
with my high side
curl,
safety,
tight,
but
sharply
he's gonna
run
let
route.
that run. What do we
Against
got?
zone, you're just looking for
Outside
that open
step.
spot, that dead area, so you may curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion.
Now, this is
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Allen going to throw.
Really trying to run it up the
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Sanders. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
The edge on the outside, force them back into our two inside stuff. They're going to be throwing stuff up in the middle. So that is really the whole idea with this. One more right here. What do we have? Tight end, receiver, fullback, overloading the right side. Here we go. Now what do we see? We're actually going to counter. So what they're going to do, they see we're overloading this side. They're going to run counter backside with the Derrick Henry. Fullback, guard, out in front, trying to get football blocked. But
from midfield, here's Allen. Steps away to his left. Allen hit. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys.
Two inside stuff. We could go for a fire upfield.
The 20. 5. And this is going to be brought back for a fumble return touchdown by the Cowboys. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice you're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right?
Yeah, do I ever?
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away.
We'll take it.
Return. Isaiah McKenzie
Thought he might
now
have.
for the return.
Should have challenged that, but take your baby.
Power to this side, it looks like. Hopefully just shoot the backfield there. Sharif Floyd does a great job of getting upfield and making him stop his progress. Coming back into the old meeting lane, Lewis and Blade just blows him up. And one more, here we go. Bring Ramsey down, bring Humphrey down. So what do we see? We see a receiver and a tight end. We have a one running back on this side.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. That 7-0 lead in there is short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they're falling behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula to get them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they get this game tied up.
Run fits and just meet Derrick Henry in the backfield. Once again, like a 1-yard game. This is going to give you a shutdown.
Second down at 5.
That is not enough to have a complete defense. So if you want to add one of the best blitzing schemes in
here's Allen to throw it.
Great job of shutting down some of the...
And this throw is complete. And the defender all over it that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think can absorb that contact.
This guy was up in that direction, so it really squares to watch. It's at 35 yards, throw it up. That cornerback reacts. I don't know about pass receiver like that. We're pretty good receiver.
Here's Allen.
That cornerback, as we go to the
that's caught by his tight end, Dawson Knox. And he is going to have a Bills first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
You just have to wait for he passes 35 yards, which I think is right about here. But once he does that, then you can bomb it up for a one-play touchdown. Next up, we got the corner strike.
A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis in this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Here's Singletary. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Allen going to give this one to Singletary. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Now the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
So do it one more time. So now I'll be out there as soon as they throw it.
So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. He's got his target. It's the tight end Knox. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10.
Makes a difference.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain move. This time they're moving down the field. And a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
They'll run on first down with Moss.
Oh, wow. Took myself right out the play.
Zach Moss, a 12-yard touchdown run. And the Bills are an extra point away from tying the ball game here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point by Bass, up and good.
That was terrible.
Tied here in the
That's what
second
you really
quarter.
have to do. And you're going to get an easy one-play touchdown over the top against cover 3. You see right there,
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away.
The wheel route coming underneath him. Makes up the other Ravens trail.
And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here.
Some good man beat routes. Clear the B route. This is a cover 2 man. You see it still
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And with a little under a minute to play, they may be looking to pick up some yardage here. Maybe try and come up with a field goal to seize the lead before intermission. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up the field.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And some space here. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, they say it all began back in Miami. He really became a receiver
okay. Good deep.
because of his attention to detail and precision. But don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch there.
He did spend 1 year with Teddy Bridgewater as quarterback there, so that helped back in high school. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Except we have the Z spot. All we have to do is streak the B route. That's pretty much it. The RV route here is going to be play against just about any zone coverage.
He'll fire this deep for Gallup, and that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete. They went for all the marbles there on that long pass. He caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds.
So difficult, isn't it? Because you have so many things you're going through on that play, trying to get open, trying to catch the ball, and still get your feet down to complete the process of the play. Not successful on that attempt.
I'll say it's a one-play touchdown, but I look for more speed and power than going. But that's a really easy read.
They'll throw again.
Next up, we got the 0-1 trap. So get inside one play.
Open man Lamb, it's complete. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call.
Anything that's too
So
tight.
with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the left hash, this from 37.
So if it's tight, not so much. Right here, if there's no one covering the center,
And Zerline's kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Both teams making their final preparations for the second half of action. So with that, let's get you back out to Arlington, where we rejoin Brandon and Charles.
The running
And
back
we
is
welcome
going to
you
be
back
best
live now
against
inside the booth
cover
alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Garden, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. A field goal, the difference, 17-14 is the score. Back underway here now in this third quarter.
These receivers should get open against that as well against zone. I would say the best setup, though, would be to put that Y route on the street, put the A route on
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Second half starts with a carry by Elliott.
Good shit.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. They had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10.
One side of the field, though. We can't attack both. And you can see once again, cover 3, exact same result.
They go to Elliott again.
Except we got the corner of the others.
Elliott a first down and more. And all the way out to the 45-yard line. 94 yards for him on the ground now. He's been terrific here this afternoon.
Cover one man. Against cover one man, you have to smart route them for them to have success. And I also find it best to motion one out and put them on a smart route like this. Keep one on a I mean, you can smart route them both, but if you keep one on a smart route and leave the other one as is, you would have a play that beats both man cover.
They'll go with Pollard here on first
You
down.
have to smart route to beat cover.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 37-yard line. They'll run with Pollard. And after the good game last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
Plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe just a little inspirational speech, who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss.
Exact same setup, and this X right here just has a lot of success getting past these cornerbacks.
Now
same
Prescott.
Head, pull it, pass it outside, it's a one-play touchdown against cover for Porter.
It's caught. Cooper.
Yeah, back to cover 2.
It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag. Because when you do, you just put the ball on it and then let him run.
Get some
That
space.
is nonsense. I didn't really set the play up correctly anyway, so I sweep the wrong guy. The B-routes the guy just
on third down, Elliott.
Good D.
Elliott trying to work his way forward, but it looks like he did not make it. The loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
That was well played there defensively. Two tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
You can see how there's an opportunity.
It's a 47-yard field goal try from here, but instead they're going to have to go for it on fourth down.
Against
cover 3, here's Prescott. Man open, that's complete to Dalton Schultz. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22.
Well, it all came together on that one, didn't it?
Big time throw on fourth.
Now that had to feel good, didn't it? Taking that type of a gamble there and making it pay off. What a throw.
And tough as a receiver because no matter how perfect the pass, you know it's fourth down and you got to convert.
A little bit of extra pressure, but he overcame it.
A first down carry by Elliott. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
It's going to be the look. And you can see we're pretty much just going high to low.
Coming up on second and 7.
3 levels, including the other tight end, which comes down the flat. And I should probably put this guy back
again, it's
on the
Elliott.
defensive line. There we go. So
he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. On first down, Elliott. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, second and 8.
So really just going front to back. The A route and B route are the man beaters, or the Y route, the A route, the B route.
And that is going to do it.
Except for
For this third quarter of action,
against,
you are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Go ahead, we'll pick him too.
On second down, it's Elliott, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. Third down and 9.
If your opponent spreads their defense to try to match these wide running formations, you can basically just hit with this draw, and it's a pretty good play. You hit a bubble quarterback, and there's also a chance of fumbling, so when I run this a lot of times, I will slide, but ultimately this is one of the better run plays that a lot of people don't necessarily expect. So like I said, fumbles happen. I typically try to slide so I can avoid that. I try to slide away.
And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Dalton Schultz there to make the grab. And the Cowboys will add on.
Yeah, I don't know why he dipped off. Looking out.
This is where tight end earns his money in the high traffic area, and he's able to work free in the middle of the end zone and grabs that one for a touchdown.
But this Y route here,
Zerline connects on the extra point. His guys will take a 10-point lead. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away.
What the actual zone is, instead of guessing after the play.
McKenzie now from his end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
Let's do that one time. It's going to be the same thing, though. The Y route's going to get open. Although he's getting open a lot easier. He's rounding that route off pretty poorly, and it's still wide open. So any man zone that's going to be successful. Any zone that's going to be successful.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the fourth quarter. This drive becomes very critical.
Let's do that first. Just to show you
play fake to Singletary, and now it's Allen. They'll roll him out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side.
Good shit.
Right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there.
The first one that you see has a lot of space, and you can run it just like that. So if you're not too good at read defenses, you can do that. As you can see, this perfectly is just so well spread.
Throwing on first down is Allen. Rolling to his right.
So we're just going to go
first down and more for Allen. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses home.
Cut that out.
Late in the game, defense trying to avoid a big play. He's able to work out of the passing game, turn it into a run, pick up the first, and stop the clock as well.
And you know in this situation, everything is sped up. The intensity, the thinking, everyone's movements. But for a quarterback, he has to continue to do what we call flatlining. Level in everything he does, read the clock, feel it in the pocket, and go at the appropriate time.
But you can see he's open pretty much every play, too. A lot of times I find myself running it like this because it's just so easy.
Second and 6.
Right here, you got that RB rally. So I feel a little bit, maybe a little bit on time. I was going to say I thought I'd be a little early, but I still made it in there because I was probably in cover 2. The mid-read on cover 2 does a pretty good job at getting up the field when it comes to that particular play. Now you can see right here.
That's right.
So like I said, I mean, you can see there's just so much
Here as he's taken down.
Against cover 2, I had a lot of success.
What persistence, and that persistence pays off. Tracks him down for a 19-yard loss. So after the sack, Allen and the Bills have work to do on 3rd and long.
You can also just put this A-route in the street, though.
He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 17, but even with that, they'll be well short here for 4th down.
You can see that he kind of bends to the outside. So all you really have to do is just pull that safety back, wait till he gets past that outside cornerback, and then I have a lot of success, a lot of throwing over there. I got popped. But you can see it's still a really big play. That's probably the biggest issue you run into is you don't necessarily have a ton of pass protection. I mean, you have a superstar like
gotta have this one.
Makes it a little
touchdown.
Right there, fellas.
Dawson Knox there to make the grab. And the Bills have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. Allen will try to throw for it.
I feel like there's a couple different ways to run this as well. For some reason, the wide out just gets open wide.
The protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite, but in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free, find an open receiver, condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion. All that extra, there's not any extra field, so it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
If he's taking away, typically this tight end's going to be wide open, so it's really up to them. But for some reason, this thing just gets super wide open the second the play starts. So I was going to run a few more times. Like I said, that wide route is just money. He just cuts right in front of the safety every time. That's why
they'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground.
That guy just missed me.
They're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line.
I get a touchdown.
Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. They'll run left with Pollard.
Stuff like that. Anything really
and on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Really like dimes do that. So your opponent's probably going to come out something like this. When they do that, it's the perfect opportunity to switch over.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game.
It's something that I ran like 14, 15 times a game with Patrick Mahomes of all people, who's not very fast, and I still had about 50 yards. They got a touchdown and 2.
So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset.
So if
they've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthinking. Just hand it to the only reliable guy, let him pick up the first down.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
I eventually get a guy like Lamar Jackson. Like, here, this is probably a look where I don't have to do that.
Now
but I can also try to go behind this.
And here he'll get it down to the 7.
There's so much opportunity.
Now the Bills will use the 2nd of their timeouts. As they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game.
Twice in that game, but it didn't cost me. But realistically, you can fumble, and it's obviously you're going to show is the wide receiver screen. Now this is going to be something once again, a little bit of a trick play. You're going to want to use this when your opponent comes out in
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Cover 4 is probably one of the best defenses for this play. So they come out in that, or like I said, a cover 3, which is also one of the most popular, most run formations is probably cover 3. Then you're going to want to hit them with this. So against any off coverage, cover 3, cover 4, you're just going to want to throw it out.
They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And he'll take it into the end zone for a count.
But without a doubt, this is something that you could definitely. Your opponents, one guy I was playing, he was dropping everybody back, as far as he could, because he was just expecting me to bomb it up over and over. That's a perfect opportunity to start playing back, just throw it underneath. It's a super frustrating formation. Between this play, the quarterback blast, and obviously the vertical play, you can just really, it's almost like rocking a college offense, and it's just going to drive your opponent crazy. Except we got the double coverage. Against cover 4, just block the running back. outside release
Alright.
on the safety.
Let's get a couple more quick matches.
Get that one-play touchdown. We're gonna get it. Like I said, I don't have to change Marcus Brown, but you can see this is easily a one-play touchdown with the right receiver. Next up, we got the RPO zone peak. This play right here. I mean, if it's a cover 2 man or any type of man coverage, this B route here is a very good play. That's gonna be good. That was actually a cover 3. Anything where the quarterback isn't like right in space. So this is a cover. This looks like a man coverage or a man blitz. I mean, I could run this. I could run that against a lot of different things. It's a very good play. I could probably throw it to that slant 9 times out of 10. If you have like an opportunity right here up the gut, obviously hang the ball up. That didn't work out very well right there. You can also run the ball. Which obviously, you know, if there's a scenario like right here, we have
sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. A moment ago, here was the scene: the Falcons coming out from their tunnel to the roar of all the folks here in Atlanta. We're ready for football as these Falcons get set to match up with Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. Greg Zerline now. He'll handle the honors to get us started. And we are underway from Atlanta. Cordero Patterson to return it, bringing it out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
You can see the man coverage actually down the way. It actually blocked that guy, so there's a good opportunity for that against pretty much any defense. But ultimately, against cover 3, cover 4, the wide routes can be best. They spread the defense too much. The running backs can be best, and if it's a man coverage, or really any zone coverage where he's inside the quarterback, the B routes can be best. Except we got the best spot. It's cover 2 zone. We're going to do the exact same thing. Motion this guy out the B route streak of them now. The RB route is going to be the play.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
Explosive plays. You can make some short throws like right there, catch it short of the safety, or you can try to make it
opening carry of the game for Cordero Patterson. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's 2nd down.
As a linebacker, you're trying to stay just slightly behind the ball carrier just in case he makes a cutback. But when you find the gap, shoot it, and he found it all right. He took it straight into the backfield and made the tackle for a loss.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
And this opening drive not going to plan. This is now 3rd and 13.
Now, when I originally showed this particular play, I showed that it can beat a lot of different defenses, mostly cover 4s, but I didn't show
to throw is Ryan.
But this also beats cover 2.
And he will not be able to hang on to the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
4th down. Here's Ryan.
A good enough receiver.
Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And he's going past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the 1st down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try to keep people in front, but somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
You can really hit up a lot of these receivers, but ultimately, you also don't pick touchdown with the exact same receiver.
Now again, right side, Patterson takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
I feel like I can see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
By the way, just in case you guys are seeing that, and they're basically just going, what do they call it, monkey roll?
On 2nd down now, it's Patterson. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to throw on this inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Separation when it comes to a cross receiver, but protection really seems to be the biggest issue. You can see right here. You get cross separation with a very easy crossing one-play touchdown against cover 3. The reason this works out like that is you can see how this cornerback here reacts to his out route. You can see that, just that slight reaction gets him out of position. The out route.
That's going to be caught.
Burnt us.
But you can see that
go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big connection on that one. 36
Good shit.
yards. All right, Travis, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. Does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does, because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you, it makes you a little bit hesitant.
Time to regroup.
Pre-snap will do the exact same setup. We block our running back. Like I said, that running back, though, is very good.
On 1st and 10, it's Ryan.
This route
Letting one go deep for the end zone.
Good hit.
And this ball incomplete. Looked very much to be a catchable ball. Could not hang on. 2nd down coming up. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
When you just run it against cover quarters, because they completely
Here's Ryan.
I mean, it's just, this play is so good.
Throw out right, taken in by Patterson.
Good shit, good shit.
Inside the 15-yard line.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
And then last but not least, we have
Rifles one, that's going to be intercepted. Dropped by Anthony Brown. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football as they force the turnover on the opening drive. That right there is the inauspicious start that they were hoping to avoid, the turnover on the first possession.
I love how you use those college-bound words like that, inauspicious. Well done. I really appreciate that. But here's the thing for me. I'm just wondering if their game plan is incorrect. You know, I think they felt like they could come in and throw it around pretty well. That interception early, they may rethink how they go about attacking.
When I motion the receiver in, the quarterback follows, and then he basically just stands in no man's land. Nothing really engages him, and he basically is about 15, 20 yards behind the other 3 deep safeties, or the other 3 deep
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line.
Once I get inside of the free safety, or the guy that's
able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
He's not really serving any purpose, and he'd rather the protection, because it takes a while for this receiver to cross. And then you can see once he's basically aligned with the safety, as his bullet and passes it to the left, and he gets over the cornerback and it's a one-play touchdown. Now, the red zone scissors is another play I really didn't go over too much. It should have a very similar success to the first one, as far as it has the same route, and they'll do a lot of the same things. But the running back is a very good man being route.
They keep on the ground, and he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Calling a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
It basically gets me out of the man coverage altogether. You can see the running back here. The China route's a good route, and it's pretty hard to stop. But this particular route is a much more explosive one. So if you have somebody running a lot of man coverages, I mean, pretty much every route on this play will have success. As you can see one more time, this is the same route that we were just having success against every defense with in the other play. So you can really go in between these 2 plays and get a very similar effect. It's really a timing throw, and I probably want a better receiving back than what I have. If you pull it and pass lead once you get that, into that break and get that separation, it's a very big play at some time. Now, this play
now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
It's probably my favorite play of the overall quarterback. This is something that is really a play that I just found on levels. So I'm going to pick that, but let's continue to go with the random play here. So as far as the running back goes, I don't typically hand it off. I typically find it's best to keep with the quarterback there. My center got in the way. But you
trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Let's watch the replay here. You can see a lot of times this play here with running back usually gets
2nd down.
the second that you hike it. But look how much
open space we have as he gets this up to the 48-yard line. We're scoreless after 1.
So as long as you have an open quarterback, this could have been a huge run if I didn't run over with Ben Powers. But you can see there's nothing there. So it's really on me for him to sprint by too soon. But you can see how there's nothing but space over the middle of the field. When running this play, I pretty much just take my hand off the sticks entirely and just let the blocking set up. And then you can see we have a lot of space right over the middle there once again as we get a very big play. You can hand it off, but I find it only really works when this defensive end commits or just gets blocked entirely. I don't find the outside handoff is really the best way to go. This is definitely a play you can take it, it with the running back, but I guess that's really
Off the play fake, Prescott.
Accelerate very fast. But you can see there's a lot of really good.
And there is Amari Cooper in his first catch. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 29-yard line. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot and he connected there and picked up a first down.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
So if I was going to automate, I'll say the power read definitely there, the half-down base is a very good inside run, and then the buck sweep, which is the money run.
From the pistol, here's Elliott. And now they have a breakaway this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on third down.
This is just an incredible play. It's got to be new to the game this year. I don't know if Buck Sweep plays like this in the past. All you're really going to do is follow number 7. Number 70 there is your lead blocker. And look at all the space out here. Once he gets on that guy, once he blows that edge up, the blocking of this play is just insane. I mean, this really reminds me of some of the better running plays in the past when it comes
to throw is Prescott.
Because they used to be really overpowered there.
And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds.
Look at the space out here.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
We saw that indeed, picking up the first.
Sometimes he'll get blocked early, he'll go a little engaged early. He's really got to get
They'll run on first down. It's Elliott. That he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, a 13-yard touchdown run. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. A solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up. Meaning, when you get on a guy, you just stay right there. Each guy has his own assignment that allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
Zerline good with a PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game.
It's the best thing to do. And the Browns game is just so phenomenal. I mean, I'm in love with this play. It's such a good play. The only other play that I really would run, I mean, the halfback base is a good one play inside. You have that inside.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline who kick it away.
A gun formation like this, they expect an inside zone. They expect an inside zone. They expect a draw.
Patterson going to bring this out of the end zone. And he will be brought out here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
But ultimately, my favorite inside run would be the power read. This play here, I pretty much would only run this if I'm running the buck sweep and it looks like overload on the inside. Or we have a safety.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I'd be right there with me.
On second down, it's Patterson. And some room to maneuver. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big pickup there on the run.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? We just saw that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there.
Well, we have a good passing play, too. So let's pick the PA post big shot. We'll pick Tampa 2 here to start. So this play here could be a one-play touchdown against a lot of different defenses. It's definitely something that your opponent will not be expecting because it's really a run-heavy formation. So against coverage zone,
throwing now, Ryan on first down.
RB route on a pitch.
He completes it to Ridley. And he goes down but not before getting this inside the 25.
This has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
He reacts really oddly to these short routes. He basically just thinks that he has to stop and come down in these really short routes.
First down,
He really
Ryan.
wanders to the right.
And complete this one to Patterson. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line.
You can see he's totally out of
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
Didn't necessarily get the best throw, but you can see it's figured over the top. And like I said, this is something that you'll see when you do this more to get more and more separation. There are things you can do to make this separation work even better. If you motion this receiver in, you'll get around the zone jump. Now he runs a zone jump.
A shotgun handoff to Patterson.
And
he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
I didn't get the best throw. I had to back up a little bit. As you can see, we're having a little bit
A chance now to get even before the break as they come up first and goal.
Shouldn't be having that problem, but still, you can see we get a bull rush animation here. But you can see, like I said, he's getting over the top. Very easy to put this down. That's probably the full set. Motioning in that receiver makes it a lot easier. It takes away the acceleration.
Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
A line of scrimmage once again the 5 as they get ready for second and goal.
The exact same setup. What about cover 3, though?
Out of the gun, it's Ryan.
And
it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch. And the Cowboys are going to take over at their own 2-yard line. Second straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to nerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one, or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
It's going to work best with a hash mark, but you can really run.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
Because I don't trust my protection. That's why I use Lamar Jackson in these videos. You see another
the run only got a yard. Here's second and 9.
Quarterback does here, how he reacts to the out combo. And you can see number 1, he reacts to the out route.
And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. Falcons going to use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime.
The guy did all this extra stuff. He should probably be out of the league. I mean, this is something that, if you saw this on game tape footage, who are you covering?
And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary now in third.
You're going to get in Madden when it comes to how glitchy this play is.
Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And he's going to have a first down, but not sure it'll matter as the clock will continue to run. 45 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime.
Cover 3 and cover 1 look the exact same. So
here's a first and 10 at the 14-yard line.
So no matter what, the shell looks like cover 3 or cover 1. You can't tell that.
Prescott
now. The exact same routes, doing the exact same thing. A running back or a defensive end.
Throw left side complete. That's Elliott. And he's got room. And take this to the left side of midfield before going out of bounds. A big play there on the catch and run. The offense has to love that because that was just a dump down, and then he turned something out of seemingly nothing.
And the best quarterbacks understand that dumping it down is often a good play, a better play than even what was drawn up.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up first and 10. There's Prescott.
This is going to be the best setup.
The ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
And next up we have our cover 4s. We start off with cover 4 quarters. When it comes
so now second and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
I'm really happy with and you're going to get really good results. Buying time, once again, might be the decision, but that basically is just going to isolate this receiver down, the receiver in this cornerback. That's all they do is isolate that receiver, which if you don't make that adjustment, you actually
it's intercepted.
Damn, fellas, my fault.
Falcons are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line.
The quicker B route and the RB route on drags is going to take the most time. That's going to work the best. And then basically have to wait
Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down, 2 still to remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
We're just about set to get back to it. Both teams making their final adjustments, and we'll head back to Atlanta and rejoin Brandon in charge.
And we welcome you back now alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Against cover 4. One more time, I like the better separation look than that. It's really about when you throw it and how much of a bullet pass it away.
All right, we got to go through some low plays, figure slow shit out.
The Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
It's very similar to the play that I showed last week, but you can actually trigger the quarterback.
Second half starts with a carry by Elliott. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Nice satisfying run on first down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Now, the 5th play, I have a couple of plays that was 5-3.
They go down the again. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
So this play here, this is a play where I showed you guys last week. It was a power read play. All you have to do is hold the A button. And for whatever reason, these guards do a terrific job of kicking out. That actually wasn't too great of a run block with the run of this field. But you can see I still have a lot of opportunity. 9 times out of 10,
here's Prescott.
Hand to the run back. Like I said, this is something where I pretty much
and that will be incomplete.
Yeah, that's a nice job there defensively to blank of those receivers on 3rd down. And as a quarterback, all you can do is just lock one toward the bench, not too close, mind you, and live to punt the football.
Every single time you run this play, motion this guy in. It's going to help with the run plays too, because a lot of times you'll bring the cornerbacks in and stuff like that. It's going to help you get outside of the quarterback. But you pretty much want to always motion this guy in.
The offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3.
Because that motion in is going to be something like
they're indeed going for it. It's Prescott. Man open, that's complete to Dalton Schultz. And brought down before reaching the 45-yard line.
And that's a big pickup on the first down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on 4th down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. On 1st down, Elliott. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Blaze up, blaze up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football, getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
This is a perfect opportunity for the power read. If I can get enough acceleration for this play, I'm pretty much this is the exact opposite.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
I'm just telling you the truth. What I can see here, I'm just basically leaving it right to
now Prescott.
You see, there's nothing really.
Oh, god damn! Almost fucked up, fellas. They got D. They got D.
Interception before. Almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
It really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there.
I just want to get him to get 5 yards and take a play like that. Here's another play over outside. I said I can try this. And like I said, that guy, the guard isn't quite doing the job, and it might be because I'm sprinting.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at 3rd and 8. Looking to throw, Prescott.
Way to hold on to that rock.
And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the third downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the third quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
65 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
Because you can go explosive run in either direction and have big plays on opposite sides.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
They'll never have an idea what to do. Now there is a play that
from the shotgun, it's Prescott.
All of this earlier. That's the
swinging this out.
That's on me. That's on me.
He'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. He was unable to shake free there. They'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
And this is also very important. Once again, we can take this outside. We can hand it off. We're still getting, this
now
is
2nd and 11 from the 32.
This would be more like a stretch run. You get the exact same look, but you're not necessarily getting the full rock. You're just getting solid rock. The play that we're going with, if you Ravens double post, I would say the only other thing that you need to make sure you do is have your best.
And pretty good running as he'll be close to a first down at the Falcons' 22. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
That's going to be the route. So let's pick that. On the defensive side, we're just going to go with, we're going to continue that. We'll go with 4-3. We're going to start off with Tampa 2 like we always do. So yesterday, I made mention that this is the most important thing.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Elliott. They'll call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to
Ooh, let's make it interesting, baby.
And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time to make sure you get in shape.
Running with Elliott. And he will have the
Good patience, good patience.
20 to the 19-yard line.
Almost had us, fellas.
So a moment to catch our collective breath after the 4th down conversion. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
That safety. So very easy concept. Doesn't matter where you are in the field either. You can run this from anywhere with this exact same setup. So we're going to move the ball over.
4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. A 1st down carry by Elliott.
It's going to be the exact same way.
And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines. Let's close this one out.
And he is not going to get through here on try number 1. They stop him at the goal line. They call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. Elliott is
Okay.
at the 4-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
The extra out here will have success getting over the top.
That's good defense.
If you have a good receiver. And it might actually be better in man because a lot of times they can run into one another. And I'll see if I get that look. If I motion this guy in, because they're so tight, because I'm putting this receiver is wide out as they stand, a lot of times you can actually get in the way of the extra out receiver a little bit.
Now
There are
Prescott.
benefits and always drawbacks. The benefit is
Oh, good. That wasn't even good defense. He dropped that shit.
Quite a while. Now what do you do
Play
here?
smart.
Well, to me, at this stage, after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
We'll make that same motion, but we'll highlight every route this time. We're not going to highlight the
Zerline's kick is up and through. And the lead moves to 10-0. So that CD in
Good
important
defense.
one here in the 4th quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
a little bit better. So maybe I want to get around blocking the street, the X route is how we're going to do. You'll see how this zig route here and this route combo really keeps that cornerback down. As you can see, we're getting right over the top. And we're doing it with the run now. We're not doing it with the hollow ground. So you're seeing that we're not using the fastest receiver.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And you're still in this game. I mean, you haven't scored. Offense obviously has struggled, but you're only 2 scores down, so all hope not lost.
Not at all, because we're talking about the NFL, and teams can score fast in this league. Quick strikes, you're right back in it. You're exactly right. Keep it
Good D.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his
Good tackle, good tackle.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
So the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. On 3rd down, Ryan.
Ooh.
He's caught inside, but he's knocking out the
Ooh,
first
I
down.
know he mad about that one.
Out of bounds. So a big call there that brings up 4th.
And let this guy run right behind him. This is where you're going to have your opportunity. Try to pass that up a little bit. Probably an easy touchdown. So we're going to do that again.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Here we go. It's Ryan on 4th down. And it is
Right.
It's Ridley. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A big play that time through the air. 33 yards. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now Ryan. He's going to go for a big play downfield.
Good D.
Incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. 2nd and 10 now. Ryan. From that side, caught by the tight end Hurst. He is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Clock management definitely critical here for them to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
This is good quick touchdown as you're going to find the game because you really have to do anything.
And they're trying to squeeze in one more play here before the 2-minute warning.
Adjustment and go. And the cornerback, he just kind of runs right on the cornerback. And bullet passes
again, Ryan.
That's pretty much it.
Looking for the end zone.
Super explosive.
And this is incomplete. Oh, he had 6 points right in his hands, but could not hang on.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Quarterback the exact same way. I have to hold the ball a little bit longer, though, and I really have to, that one there is a much tighter window.
To throw again on 2nd down. Ryan, he's going to take a shot for the
Good hit.
And that is incomplete. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game.
This year, we actually get running backs next to the quarterback, so it's much more traditional formation. But the 3 main plays that I'm going to use the most are going to be
so it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
Now, there's a very glitchy play in this formation as well. This round,
Calvin Ridley.
You blew that one.
The 8-yard line before going out.
For the kind of game he's had so far, he had to know that
Now we good.
he would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and
Now we good. Shorten this field.
fell asleep at the
Oski.
switch on that one. I would have doubled
Ooh, I got smoke in my face.
keep the ball in his hands.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. A great read and it's picked off.
Good game, cuz.
Cowboys force the turnover, and they'll take over at the 10. For this defense, CD, that's kind of the icing on the cake here as we get to the end of this one.
And didn't you feel that they weren't just going into total prevent there? You know, they had the lead, and sometimes you fall back and you lose your aggressiveness. Not in this case. They were still making a play on the football, and look how that one turned out. They may have salted this one away.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
With the quarterback, there is nothing downfield. There is nobody on this side of the field. That's what makes this play so successful. Anytime you run a play with a running back, you typically only have non-blockers because you run the ball with yourself and the quarterback's doing nothing. So it's really 9 on 11. When you run it with the quarterback, now you have a lead blocker with your running back, and basically everybody on the
Oh, wow. Damn. That was terrible.
Because you got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties.
Terrible.
He's able to
Putting
knock
back in the game.
Or anything that I mean, it's just such a good run play. I mean, obviously the better the play's going to be based off that fast Lamar Jackson.
That was some bullshit. I know they sunk you on
Connect on second down. That leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Here's Prescott. And he caught up the football near his own goal line. That ball popped free. We could hear it all the way up here. Those guys down on the field alerting everyone to the football. He's lucky that his offensive mates picked him up and jumped on it.
Yeah, and you have to think to yourself, and I'm sure they've been echoing it on the sideline and into the huddle. Guys, we have the lead. Just take care of the football. Don't make it easier for them to start to make a comeback.
But ultimately, the Slips are going to have the most success if somebody decides to blitz.
The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. Here's Williams to return. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. The Falcons are set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already.
Really good option on the right side, which as long as it's not a man coverage, this RB route,
way to stay in the game.
Or a hard flat. Any hard flat typically be on that table route as well. But that's a really good option. Now the second best one play though for sure is definitely the shovel option. This play here, you really have two options. You have your left bumper and your right bumper. You're running back on the left, you'll hit the left bumper, you're running back on the right, you hit the right bumper. It's very that simple. Or you can actually do for the quarterback too, although I don't typically find that's the way. You don't quite get the pitch animations that I've gotten in some other plays.
Now is Ryan.
That's one of the few issues when it comes to the shovel option.
Airing it out, looking for Ridley.
I'm expecting to get that.
And this one is
Damn.
Well, this defense has been physical all game long, and it certainly looks like they're not going to back off and make things any easier. They want to keep making life miserable for the receivers all the way to the end.
This is not one of those plays, so it would have been better if you could, but ultimately it's still a really good play.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
But you can see even there, like that was not a good pitch. I got the bad pitch animation for essentially
Here's
the
Ryan.
that stops to catch it. And I don't know if it does this because
he's going to take another shot here. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off down at the 10, and he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
So many times we end the game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act. That interception, good way for them to end it.
Use whoever your fastest running back is to get the ball up the field. As you can see, if you do it correctly, it's a very easy play.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
7 yards to pick up there.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
I like that.
Prescott here to throw.
But based on the fact that I was saying,
He'll get this out right here to Elliott. And he's able to to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
So you can pretty much do whatever you want, and basically use the
and he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And not all W's are created equal, CD, and this one came in shutout fashion.
Well, their offense certainly didn't need to do anything, right? They could take the day off, and they did.
Now let's roll up another one, man.
Yeah, look, the offense obviously stuff to work on, but they did enough, and the defense carried the load.
But you know what they say, it's always fun to work on things. If it didn't go well in your game, with a victory in your pocket, and that's what they got going forward.
But we won't do that again. So let's go to the comments. Like I said, I don't really look at too many other routes on this play. Like I said, this year, it's just going. Andrews is going to be the lead 9 out of 10. He beats man, he beats zone. That's pretty much why. Where the running back only beats zone. So that's why I'm pretty much looking at Andrews the whole way. As you can do again right here, like I said, that the rest of these guys with fullback coverage, he's pretty much always going to be the option. The running back is open too. That's the thing about this guy. Pretty much both of these players are going to be open. Sometimes you're going to want to keep an eye on the other side, but ultimately I find that, this is not my favorite play. It's something that you might have to do if your opponent starts catching on and trying to jump the routes going in the other direction. But ultimately, I don't find that or Watkins are really great plays when it comes to how this play is set up here. That must have been a crazy man blitz because Andrews was wide open. You can sacrifice Andrews, though, and make a big play on the B-route. This is a really good route combo because ultimately this here, you pull all the coverages back, and then you can basically just catch a really deep ball over the top. This is also a cover 2 1-play touchdown, so let's go and let's pick that. You're going to want to run this from the hash mark to the open side of the field, but all you really have to do is put the B route here on a streak. And this X route here will be a very big play against cover 2 zone. So you can see right there, you 1-play touchdown, very first play. I didn't know I had Brown in that spot, but obviously that speed's going to help. This all works out based off the fact that that X route just basically, it's designed to get outside of cover 2s. So really just put this guy on a streak is all I really need to do. So that guy's going to pull back the zone coverage. The A route here really helps to pull that cornerback down. You can see there I didn't get a touchdown, but it's still a very good play. You can run this from anywhere, maybe center hash, but you're gonna lose some catch and run space. Like I can run it here if I don't have all that space, and I can still have success. But a lot of times you'll just get caught by the safety that much quicker. So if you want to hold that touchdown, you definitely need space. But this is a good play to run from anywhere on the field. If you do it without changing up that B route, it actually still has success. So you can see it's most nice catch. Here is pretty much the way to go. like. That will also help to pull that cornerback down, but you can see it's a very big play against cover 2 zone. Next up, we got the jet touch pass. So this play here, it's pretty self-explanatory. I find it works best against cover 3 and cover 4 zones and man coverages. Cover 2 is about the only one that doesn't have a ton of success. Here you can see we have a safety kind of just hanging out there. That could be an issue. But you can see, if anything, we're not taking a loss. You could always move it, take it back inside as well. Next up, we got the Raven sail. Put the wire out either on an in route or a drag. Or, if you think it's a man coverage, you could also put them on a zig. But ultimately, this running back here is the star of the play. It's just the best cover 3, cover 4 beater. It's the table route to the running back. I would say just putting the wire out in this zig just to have a check down against any possible man would make the most sense. But like I said, cover 3, cover 4, just go underneath, get as much catches around as you can. Against cover 2, just streak the A route, and the B route would be a very big play against cover 2. As you can see, he just gets over the top of the cornerback and outside the safety. Next up, we got the halfback slip screen. The screen's the first read, but the table route on the other side is a very good play against cover 3 and cover 4 zones, so it's something that you can throw in the mix. But this is a good play because you don't have to live and die by the screenplay. Because a lot of times things can happen. The running back get caught up, the blocker can get caught up. There's a lot of things that go wrong. So it's good to have that second option on the other side, which is almost as reliable as the first option on the other side. Just make sure you put a running back at this fullback spot. You'll get better catch and runs. Next up, we have the shovel option. Shovel option is a good play if you have a mobile quarterback. You can flip it out to the Bobby route, which will typically be the bigger play. Although Bobby Wagner did a pretty good job down there. This play here is going to be one of the better running plays in this formation. You have the option to pitch it either left or right, which you see is really, it's going to give you a lot of opportunities for big plays in multiple ways. Let's go to the replay. To pitch it to the left, you just hit the LB bumper, which you can see right here. If I have a lane on the left side, like right there, we have a defender who's cheating to the right side, so obviously flipping him would be a mistake. But on the left side, we really didn't have anybody that just followed the quarterback, and that was what gave me the opportunity to basically flip it right up the middle. Now, to me, the best flip is pretty much always going to be to look for the outside flip. Next up, we have the Y curl. This is specifically a man coverage play, so any man coverage is going to have most success. This play, all we're going to do is hit this next route. Once the extra route gets outside, comes back, just take that bullet past the sideline, and it's a very easy play against pretty much any man. I'll go ahead and cover speed up, cover 1. Cover 2 is a little bit different because the cornerback does start outside, but you still have success because the cornerback typically has to flip his hips and turn his back to the receiver. So pretty much any man coverage, including maybe man cover 0, which is what we're doing now. Just make sure if we pull this up. Yeah, so when a man covers 0, it's going to be the same effect. Pretty much any man coverage. The X route is going to get open. So this is one of the best man beaters in the formation. Except we have the halfback power O. It's another good outside run play. Typically best against cover 3 and cover 4, or man coverages, because there won't be any cornerbacks outside here as much. But against cover 3 and cover 4, you can see the coverage or the cornerbacks drop back, which is one of the reasons this works so well. As they drop back in the direction of travel. Here you see over pursues outside. It's still just a good run play. So definitely one of the best run plays in this formation. So we get the halfback slip screen. It's another play. It's really, to me, it's not necessarily about the screen itself, as you have this good flat beater, this good taper on the other side. So cover 3 or cover 4, you'll have that option. But the screen obviously is going to be one of your, it's really just about the 2 running backs. That's really your read here, left or right. Next up, we have the inside zone split. Just one of the better inside run plays. If you're, this isn't to me the best running scheme necessarily, but you have a lot of good options when it comes to this particular play here. I could go any number of directions. It's just the best inside run in the formation. Next up, we got PAF slide. It's a good cover 2 play as is. The X route here will just get open outside. You can see the the B route really pulls the safety across or makes him hesitate long enough that you can make a good play to the outside. We're getting better if I run to the open side of the field, so I can probably get a good catch and run. But at the end of the day, you can see that this is not really, I mean, this outside route just basically gets outside release, and then you can see you're basically bullet pass it to the sideline for a very easy play. You could also streak the B route, but I don't think that that's necessary. As you can see, it works out regardless. That safety's completely out of position. You get a very big play. The running backs are good under cover 3 and cover 4 zone, and the A route's a really good man beater. Now that was a cover 2, so you can see he's not going to really get open against that. But you just have to keep an eye on the crossers. I typically recommend crossers in the same direction. There you can see they drop back a little bit more. You get a very easy play. Like I said, the tight end coming across the center is your man beater for the most part. Next up, we got the red zone halfback corner. So any man covers, the running back is going to be a very big play. The linebacker is going to do a very good job covering. I don't know why I didn't catch that, but you can see he's getting open. He's getting outside release. So it's going to let, like I said, I can just motion him out to get him a little bit quicker into that flat. And then you can see we're just not getting any catches. The running back's a very good route against man. I can motion them out if I want. Get a little bit of a cheat here, but you can see that these linebackers are not going to be able to cover that. So I find it's best keeping the backfield because I don't have a ton of plays where I motion out the running back. But you can see how it's a really easy completion against any man coverage. If you have the gun split, since you have the shovel option, make sure to put a running back at the fullback spot. Here we have, it's just a really easy read to the outside. Typically, the pitch is always going to be played to the right because the one to the left feels a little bit too dangerous for me. But you can always hit the pitch to the left. There, to me, the rate of fumbling is a little bit higher, but you can see there is probably the better play. The pitch to the outside just feels a little bit safer, so you'll typically find that you'll get the edge and be able to make a clean pitch more often than to the other direction. But just remember that you do have options here. If you make a mistake like that, though, it's obviously going to result in a turnover. So just make sure that, from time to time, it's going to make most sense. Like, don't force it, like right there. Just keep with the quarterback, go down. Don't lose the ball. Don't turn it over. Here we go once again. Like I said, this is something where, you can equate this to an interception more than a fumble because it's going to be something that if you pitch it at the wrong time, you're definitely going to pay for it. Don't do this one more time. Like I said there, I just want to take it out as wide as possible. A lot of times the quarterback will turn to a blocker, but typically it won't be enough time to make it an advantage that you would get normally. Next up out of the gun split twins, we have the Texas. This plays really a bunch of man-beating routes. The A route is the only route that doesn't really beat man. But the RB route, man, I probably want to put a fullback. It's a bunch of man-beating routes. The B route here, that zig is going to be one of your first reads. The corner route's a really good route, and the fullback route's a really good route. Now with the fullback, you want to make sure you put a running back in. I didn't do that, but typically that's going to be a better play if you have a little more speed. You could also motion that guy out so that he's not getting in the way, like the linebacker kind of gets in the way coming back. As you can see, I could do that outside here and have a lot of success as well. As you can see, I'm having much more success. Even with a full, look at breaking tackles, but like I said, they're all man-beating routes. That's the most important thing at the end of the day. We'll go with that X route one time. Like I said, that's the most critical timing throw would be that. As you can see at the throw, once he gets outside, it looks like he's covered up to that point, but pretty much all these routes be man. Next up, we have the PAD bounce. It's a good man cover 2 play and a good zone play. As the Y route here typically can split the 2 deep safeties, whether it's man cover zone or man zone or cover, whether it's man cover 2 or zone cover 2. Against man, a lot of times he'll be lined up against like a linebacker, which is why I'll have that exact same success. Or safe. That was actually a quarterback at the start.
Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the heart of Texas and the very wonderful AT&T Stadium in Arlington.
We owe the Packers.
Big here in Dallas, and the introduction to the Cowboys, no exception. They're set for football on a big day as their guys will do battle with the Green Bay Packers. Greg Zuerlein's got it teed up, and off we go from Arlington.
Can have a lot of success with that. was a cover 2, and I
Lane
recognize
opens here.
it,
He's
but
past the
ultimately it's still a
30.
big play with running back, so it doesn't really matter what coverage it is. The running back's good against any zone. Except we have the Y set. The Y route, the A route are good. Well, actually, every route except for the B route is a good man beater. The RB route is a really good cover 3 or cover 4 play. As you can see, he's open underneath, very easy catch and run. Other than that, you mostly have man coverage routes. Unless it's a cover 2, then the B route can have a lot of success with that. Was a cover 2, and I recognize it late, but ultimately it's still a big play with running back, so it doesn't really matter what coverage it is. The running back's good.
This is Aaron Jones.
Next up, I'm going to show you verticals, 4 verticals. This is another cover 3 with a touchdown against Virginia.
Right. This is my play.
So we're going from the hash mark and motion in this receiver. That's it. I'll block my running back. He goes for a slide my protection. And I will double team this defensive end because I want to have the kids roll in that direction to shorten the throw. It's not necessary to have all the throw power that I need.
Oh, what the fuck? Vandering?
We have to watch for a couple of things. A couple of very important things for us to work because you can't pass the pocket unless the receivers cross 35 yards. That's something new to the game and old gen. I don't know why, but once he gets 35 yards away, you can see the ball's not out of my hand. I can basically pass lead at this point. Ultimately, you also have to make sure you watch for this cornerback to slow down and stop reacting. So once he stops reacting, which he will do because that's what the play is designed to do, that's when you have the ability to pull up and pass it away from free safety and play out of it.
Tackles made at the Cowboys 23.
You guys will see here, if it doesn't go 35 yards, throw the ball before the receiver goes 35 yards, he will not be able to pass it. So it's simple. It's a regular throw early. Still almost had success, but you want to get more interceptions than anything. You can see, I couldn't pass it outside. It's something at the inside. Next, he's just the best play. His ability to fit that one in. It's a consistent I would say it was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. I mean, right, they were covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Rodgers.
Good shit.
That's a Packers touchdown.
Once this B-lock is busted,
Aaron Jones, 24 yards for the touchdown. And the Packers have taken the early lead. On is Mason Crosby for the point after.
And the X-Box against me. Next up, we have the P of full stage.
And it's going to make it 7-0 Packers.
Another cover for 1 for touchdown. You don't have to really make any adjustments, but there are some things you can do to make this play.
After the touchdown, here's Crosby.
But ultimately, it's a natural cover for 1 big TD. You can see it just creates its own touchdown. You could also drag the B route, or you can drag the RB route, lead route. All these things just to pull the safety down just a little bit easier. But when it comes to, basically keeping Matthew down, as you can see right there. I mean, I forgot to slap my protection once again. But let's do that again. Slap my protection. This will help keep that edge. And then I can basically just get that bomb up touchdown one more time. You can see the cover is still kind of close, but it's still an easy one for touchdown. So we got the fullback dive. Another good play, it's a short yard run. Typically want to put a running back at the fullback spot, but this will have success if you need to pick up any short games.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10.
See, we're going to have, they're actually kind of ran into that guy. But for the most part, we're just going to have...
What D they got from me?
Maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
This play is best if they're shifting too much to that inside against the counter. This play can have a lot of success. Yeah, I have an issue with overrunning blockers a little bit, but as long as you wait for that fullback guard to do their job, you typically have a lot of success. You typically are very good lane. So anytime that they're over shift to the right, or you have a wide gap between the defense back and the defense guy on the left side, I want the left end or the outside linebacker to have outside shoulder over my tackle, because typically that's what takes them out of the play when the pulling guard comes around. So those are the two looks you're going to want to see the most when it comes to running this defensive play. Like right here, the defensive outside linebacker is too close to that defensive end. I'm not going to get the chasing it typically went a little later. So you still had some success. So you got success with a lot of different looks. I just find it's best to do it against the wider looks or the overshifted looks to the tight ends. Next up, we have the halfback power O. I typically want to flip this. The more spread the defensive alignment, the better. Then basically just treat it like almost like a counter play. Just kind of leave that lead blocker coming around. Typically does a good job. It's going to be best if the defensive end is not really wide, which typically people want to try to maintain the outside edge. So this is going to be a perfect counter to that.
From the gun.
Here we have a blitzer. This will probably be a good look to take the blitzer back to himself out as well. But realistically, that's something that you want to do. This will be best against a little more developed, not necessarily blitzing, but not necessarily the best way to run this.
Didn't matter, did it? They got what they needed on that throw. Picked up the first down, and
here we don't have a gap in the run anyway. They said that defensive end shouldn't take himself out of play. You're pulling guards out of blocks, right? Typically, the faster you guard, the better there.
Third down conversion here is made.
Like you see, if you have holes, it's going to create this wide is going to be bigger. Oh, down on track. It's something to have back toss. Play's going to be best against cover 3, cover 4s, off coverage zones like that. As you can see right there, I don't have a lot of speed in there, so I might not be able to stretch this out like I want to. But this play here is typically going to be best against any coverage where the cornerbacks pull back away from the line of scrimmage. So that's going to be cover 3 and cover 4 zones. Except we have a good scissors. Against pretty much any defense, you motion this guy in here, put him on a drag, and then put the B route on the streak. You pretty much have a high-low concept with the A route and the X route. Where, like I said, I don't really care what the defense is. One of these two will get open pretty much every time. Over there, I threw to the wrong button. I accidentally hit the X button. I was trying to the A button, but they're both open. That's the point. You don't have to motion in the X route either. You can put it on a drag. But I find it works best if it's best. Time-wise, it works best if it's best a little quicker. Ultimately, this motion can be a little bit of a tell, so just make sure that you're basically, as we get a really tight throw there, make sure that you're motioning in the receiver sometimes in some of the run plays, just so it's not so obvious that this is, a pass play based off the motion. You don't want to make it the only option. So here we have another man coverage, and even the deep route gets open. So against any man who's on the deep route or the short route will have success, making this a very hard to stop pass play. The running back, you don't really have to. I don't really look at him much. You can take him away entirely if you think you need additional blocking. Mega Steel, like I said, we have a good tight end, so we're pretty much just getting that deep route, whether it's man or zone. Next up, we have the PA sprint halfback flat. Player all you got to do is put the A route on a streak. That's pretty much it. You're just going to play the running back versus the B route. As you can see, the A route is going to pull back a lot of zone coverages and, man coverage safeties like in cover 2. So all you have to do is put them on a streak. You have a good check down against man with the X route, and the Y route was also a good check down against zone, especially against cover 3. Now, that was a man coverage, and I made a poor read, but that running back is a good play underneath, especially cover 3 and cover 4 zone. So let's do this again.
On second down now.
There we go, that's cover 3.
Side.
You see the running back's out wide open on the flat. So definitely a good play. Pretty much every route here is a good play. The only route that's meant to pull back coverage is going to be the A route.
Right into the teeth of the blitz.
One more time. This here looks like we got that B route again. Like I said, cover 3, cover 2, cover 4. It doesn't matter. They all react to that streak route. It's tight and wide open. Next up, we got the post shot. This play can have success against pretty much any defense as far as the crossers go. The A route, you're basically just starting off with the B route and working your way back to the A route. Whichever which person just go in. They're both going to go against man, they're both going to go against zone. Here it looks like they're dropping back, so I'll take the short check down. Really simple play there. This play can be a one-play touchdown against cover 3 if you motion in the X route. I'm not sure if you have to run from the hash mark, but I'd typically do. And all you really have to do is just wait for him to cross. Although here, I'm not really sure what defense that was. That looked like I'm not sure that might have been touchdown quarters coverage. Against cover 3, you have one-play touchdown if you run from the hash mark, motion this receiver in, basically wait for him to cross the field. He's going to be easy. Look, he needs some speed, but ultimately, like I said, it's something it's one of the easier one-play touchdowns against cover 3. Against cover 4, there's no setup required at all. I just wait for this next route once again to cross, and then bomb it up over the top. So let passing away from Diggs to safety. The free safety is really simple over the lead.
Oh!
How that looks.
take it.
Go back here.
A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
One word comes to mind to me after that last play, and that's alert. That defense took a chance guessing the snap count, and they were so right. Got great push up front, and that forces fourth and goal.
Already loading up the second. I see him get inside. Next up, we got the corner strike.
Can this defense hold them out? Here we go now. Fourth and
Plays
goal
best
from the
against
2.
cover 3. All you have to do is put the A route on the streak.
Now Prescott.
Motion this guy out.
Touchdown,
So we're going to have to do
Cowboys.
the A route on the 3.
Tony Pollard.
There's a lot of times
A 2-yard touchdown
you see this
run.
cover 3 when it
And the
basically gets
Cowboys
right
are
up
an extra
the
point away
seam
from
there.
tying the
You don't really
football
have to make that
game.
motion. You can just put the A route on
Sirloin
fade.
connects on the extra point.
And you'll
We
have
are
that,
tied
pretty
here in
much
the
have that
second
same
quarter.
effect. You can see, still pass the cornerback, just as long as you have enough speed. If I get one-play touchdowns, but if I switch around my receivers a little bit, that'd be an easy one-play touchdown. Ultimately, you know, just make sure you motion this guy out. That's the best way to run it.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored 7-7 here as the kicks away.
I just want to get a touchdown here just to say that I did. There we go. Perfect. Except I had a pistol bunch of playing the drive. Against cover 2, you can be able out on the street. You're going to need a pretty good tight end, but typically you would get past this cornerback here for a really easy play outside against cover 2 zone. Against cover 3, just fade the A route. And this tight end will pull that cornerback down enough that this receiver will get past the cornerback and up the coverage.
After the long touchdown drive we just saw, you wonder if maybe that's taken a little of the wind out of this offensive sails because they had it.
And it takes a little bit of time as we pull it past the away from that safety because he does take over coverage responsibility, but ultimately it's very easy to put that chance to be a big play against cover 2. And so we got the PAB slide. So that's big. Comeback is a big play. The RB route is a big play against Amazon. Comeback routes are big against Amazon. Pretty much every route here is big against Amazon.
In this case, none of it
back. The comeback route being a really good
Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
But ultimately, you're just reading the short route to the deep route. The first
1:56
route,
remaining.
which is the A route, the tight end, typically only beats zone. But the way this is being run right now, he's having success getting out to his pattern. So next up, we got the PAB. Gets cover 2, just motion out the B route. It's going to be a very good play. You could also put the RB route on the street the time, which is necessary as the results are going to, you're going to get the results before that player breaks his stride.
Packers going to use one of their timeouts.
It's a really quick
As he'll
play.
get a chance
So
to
I would
talk
say
it over after
typically
picking up the first down.
there with that inside, that outside release that one. You see the streak, you could also streak the receiver next to it. I find that it literally doesn't matter.
He gets this
That's
to
what we have
Devontae
in
Adams.
Seattle.
And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40.
In other words, you
Before
cover
it's all
three
said and
play,
done.
you motion this guy out, you'll have a big play
On first
up
down,
the seam
Rodgers.
to the tight end.
He goes right back to
You see it
Adams.
there,
That's
that's something
complete.
you could do
And he's going
to
to get
run this
this
play
down near
regularly.
the 20-yard line.
But you could also just put the B route on the streak. And you're going to have a lot of success over the top of it. I don't know what happened there with that pass. You can see he did get past the cover.
And that is intercepted. Or was
Do that
it?
again. We
Wait,
said
they'll
streak
say
the B
no.
route.
No interception. He did not keep the feet in
Pull
bounds,
it past the
apparently.
leg from the
So that's
safety.
just going to be an
You can see
incompletion.
that it's a really easy one-play touchdown against any four vertical style concept. Against cover 2, we'll have to go back to that. Against cover 2.
How much time is he getting in there?
RB route on the street, and the B route will have success outside the cover 2.
Again, they'll throw
Direction of
Rodgers.
cover 2. You can see you have a very good play against
Going
cover
right
2.
to Jones.
Apparently enough.
Against pretty much any defense,
And they
you just
are
streak the
able to
RB route
stop
with
it, but
the
he
B route,
does
B
take
route.
it all the way to the
Drag,
2.
drag.
Now the
And
Cowboys
these
going to burn
crossing
the
routes have
first of their
success against pretty much
timeouts.
any zone that
As
get
they'll
open.
stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the
This is a
first
common
half.
concept that I use quite a bit. We'll do that again. We said the drag here is your check down. The B, I don't know what happened. Why didn't catch it? But both of those routes will get open. You have to take whichever one gets open first, the shorter route or the deeper route. Next up, we got the PA Raven flip. All you have to do against coverage is have to do is put the RB route on the street. And the B route here can have a very big play. Just as long as you go with the correct timing and run to the open side of the field. I'm not really running from the open side of the field. Yeah, we're going to move the ball. Get a little bit more catch and run there. But that's all you really have to do. You can also just block the Y route and motion out the, I'm sorry, not motion out the RB route. Just put the RB route on the street. And it's going to have the exact same success. So we don't really need that extra motion. We go with the second with the extra blocking. And you can see this guy here just running the right past some of the better coverage in the game.
So they go with a pass there on the two-point
So
try.
I don't need the wide route.
And a good job by the offense figuring out their two-point play and using it well. It's interesting how people are using the strategy nowadays, though, isn't it?
It really is. I don't know how much that one, that particular
except we got the
factor did,
Ravens
but with the
it's
PAT
one of the better
moving back to 15-16, that kind of changed things.
really
It's
good
really
blocker.
part of everyone's
From all
strategy
these
now.
guys
When I
in the
talk with
backfield.
coaches,
This is something that I put on
they
multiple
always talk
years
about they actually
on
have
my
two-point
YouTube.
periods in
You can see
practice
it. You
now,
can take
something
this
they never
inside
really
run,
did before.
but the blocking works so well, you can easily take it outside if
The Dallas offense here set to begin
so
the drive.
definitely one of the better run
And with him
plays
trailing,
in
there
the game.
is still
Every
enough
year,
time to try to
definitely
string a few
one
plays
of
together
the
and
better
maybe get
run
in
plays
field goal
in this
range.
particular
Gonna take a shot
Next
for
up,
Gallup.
out of the
And this is
full hot
right
base,
along the
we
sideline.
have
Job
the
of
Ravens
keeping the
read
toes
off.
inbounds.
We have a hole right in front of me. A lot of times
Big
that's just
connection
supposed to
on
be, but
that
just
one.
take that. You
38
see the very first play, you're getting a very big run right at the middle. That's something they want you to read the defensive end.
So the
As
big
you can
play
see, there's a
changes
player
the
really hard
complexion
here.
of
They want you
things.
to read
Here's first
the
and 10
outside
just
linebacker
outside
a lot
the
of times.
30.
I think it was this guy, I'm not really sure.
Prescott.
But they want you to typically read him. If he crashes in, a lot of times they want you to hold his quarterback. But there he is.
For
And
the
now the
sideline,
coverage.
and look at that catch, dragging the
So,
toes.
with the button, you
That's
can
going to
see
be
it.
a
If he's
first
the lead
down. Well
defender,
done.
so if he crashes in, I'm supposed to not handle it away. But 9 times out of 10, I handle it away because I just don't find. Unless you have a guy like Lamar Jackson, which is why I took this play up here, who crashes in because there, you typically go outside with it. Like I said, you can see there's other defenders that typically come flying. So to me, this is a play which really just best to hold it, hand it off no matter what. Next up, we got the wing power up. This play is just a good run play. I mean, it's a good interior run play, but you can run this like a stretch if the initial read's not there. Some plays it's hard to turn. I mean, you can run this play away. I'm flipping with the right stick because I think I see a little bit of a blocking, advantage to one side or the other. But it's real simple. I mean, if it's a cover 3, the only way you would not have a blocking advantage is if there's a cover 3 and there's a safety in the box like there is right here on the left side. So now I just want to run it as is because I want to run away from that additional defender in the box.
Fumble on
And it's
first
really
down
an
now.
easy
Here's
play.
second down.
But you don't have to either side. Right here, we got cover 2. I run to the other side of the field. I can make that my read of the alternate. I do feel like I probably have an advantage to the weak side, but I tried to give myself more advantage in the play. Here's cover 3 safety in the box one more time. I said, this is going to make me stress this out. If that cornerback would have helped block a little more, I probably would have had a better run. But this play will be best because it's an outside run. It will be best against cover 3 and cover 4 zones, typically where the cornerbacks play back. Because you can see in like a cover 2 like that was, they're immediately dropping down to the box, making it a little bit harder for run lanes. Here, once again, like I said, they're kind of pinched on the right side. This is the same defensive look they went the opposite way on last time. Well, obviously that wasn't a good move. As you can see right here, we're getting some good success going in the opposite direction. Away from that against the line. Next up, we have the score 9 and flat. This is a cover 3 1-pick touchdown on Jen. So, most of this guy in put more street blocking they're dragging the beat out for a check down. And you have to wait till the receiver crosses 35 yards or let pass the outside, which is pretty important to come to this play. You also have to run from the half to the open side of the field for it to work. But like I said, you really have to watch. It's the hardest part about third down. You have to watch till it passes 35 yards. That's right about here. And now you can see it let me pass lead with Lamar Jackson not necessarily having the best arm. I find it's best to slide the protection in the direction you're throwing because not everybody has the best arm.
Ready to get their next drive underway.
That as well. I also like
As
to
they
double
take
team
over
the edge
here with
sometimes so
11
I
seconds
slide
remaining.
in that way, in that direction. Although they keep not
Deep
moving,
for
so
Adams.
it's whatever. So there I had to step up the pocket, but you can see the pass game once again because the receiver took so long. But it took so long to get something like that in protection. And let's go across the weekend. Once this receiver passes 35 yards, he's right about here. I can throw the ball, pass it away from safety. As you can see, time worked out perfectly because I stepped up just in time to do that. Except we got the halfback counter.
Might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to
So now
get
you're
something
going to play
great
if
instead
they're
of
overshifted
putting
to
the
the
ball
one
in the
side,
air.
or if you
And of course,
have
putting the ball
some
jet
gaps in the defensive alignment. For spread for this type of alignment, that's going to be best. You're also not going to run like right here. I'm not going to want to run it towards a cover 3 safety. I would just change plays. I'll run that switch that, like I said, that there. I would probably go with like a stretch run or something like that. But ultimately, the spread alignment or your outside linebacker / defensive end has a wide alignment like that. Typically, they take himself out of play. I've done a pretty good job there, but typically that's a good look as well. Where he'll take himself out of play. The big he's really tight to the box. I don't necessarily want to do that because he's going to get put in the linebacker a lot quicker. You can see that just kind of blows everything up. Now he's kind of run back to the line. Next up, we got the blast alert.
As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports halftime.
It's a good run play because of the additional blocking. It's mostly an inside run play, but you also have the option for a smoke. Like right here, this looks like a man coverage, so this definitely would be a good look.
It's the
If you
Cowboys who get the football first, and they trail here as well as we resume action in the third quarter. Not much on this. It takes it from the 21. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape. Past the 30.
Defense or what? But yeah, I mean, this is something where you're gonna have a lot of success just as long as you make the accurate reads. Let's do that again. Like I said, here definitely probably going to be a cover 3 because of the safety coming down the box. You can see, that guy would be
About
home.
set
I
for
should have
this
waited
next
for
drive by the Cowboys offense.
Except we got the
And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people would think losing equals passing the ball back there, establish the running game. But that's your zone check down and start to recover forward. Everything else is pretty much going to be a man play. Like right here, we have the man blitz, so we have the tight end, we have the side route. Those are going to be your best options. But ultimately, you're just going to want to read front to back. You want to read from RB routes to A routes to comeback route to the receiver. So we have the PA scissors. Another comfy one-play touchdown on old gen consoles.
They'll run left with Pollard.
Just going to motion this guy in here, put him on strip, so we have to block the rebound, I'll leave the slide my protection to the left, so I can walk that direction if I have to. Also got to run from the half mark, you have to wait for this receiver here to pass 35 yards. If you don't wait for him to pass 35 yards, you cannot pass lead. So you have to wait for the receiver to pass 35 yards for that pass lead to come back. You see it there, threw it too early, doesn't really get where it needs to go. I go as far as the but ultimately, like I said, down a week, once I got past 35 yards, pass lead is back. And you can see how you have an opportunity there. Motion this guy in again, and put him on field also. Now you block everybody to 2 routes. On this play.
So the big play changes the complexion of things.
Here's
Here's
first
1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Now you have success, you got a little more speed, you're a little bit easier, but still,
Brought down at
next
the
up we got the
32.
PA scissors.
They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
See a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
But against cover 2, cover 3, regular cover 4, the A route will get open. And if it's your old console, it's pretty much the exact same thing. Relatively, you can see it's a very easy play. Against cover 3 and cover 4, especially the RB route will get open in the flat. Although here you can see that cover 3 again. Do that a little bit, but you can see it's going to get open.
Here he finds the open guy.
Against cover 3 and cover 4, the fullback will get open. Just make sure you have him have a run back in this spot. So we got the Ravens power. As well as the best against cover 3 and cover 4 zones. As you can see, the quarterback typically plays back to defend their zone coverage first, get them out of play. He runs against that end, you typically don't want to run it against, like it looks like right there, there's a box safety, but a lot of times you won't have a choice to run back there. It's such a heavily loaded formation on one side. But you can see how, typically you'll have success because you'll have that block advantage based on the fact that the cornerback runs out of the play. Next up, we got the read option.
Again, it's Elliott.
We got a whole lot of questions here. We're going to take that. But you have a fast play up there. You have another option. So right here, got that outside guy. You need to really successful here. I find the quarterback kind of really works if they're not really shifting in this direction. I try to position the quarterback, but ultimately it's probably best just to take the handoff 9 times out of 10 because the alignment doesn't really call for outside run line. So if you get the same results, it's not really good. Next up, we got the stretch of
throw it in for the two-point
so I'm hearing
conversion.
last week less
Sometimes that can be
cover
a risky
three,
play.
so you get a
Yeah, you always have to be careful here because if you do get an intercept and it's returned by the defense, that's 2 points for them.
That's why a
You
lot of times
identified
it
an
goal
open
line
target
especially
and
in
put
this
it right
but
on
I
it.
didn't adjust very well. They're adjusted up the field, riding towards the ball. We don't do that
Rodgers
again.
on
We
the
had
return.
success playing against man. We're going to have a lot of success, but it really depends on the zone.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
Yeah, that's a good option. Next up, we have the PA group left tackle. It's supposed to be good against man or zone. I find if it's a zone coverage, motioning across where Clark makes the play a little bit more successful. I also want to put a running back at that spot. Here we actually have a man coverage in the
Packer
Clark
offense ready to get their next drive underway. And last time it wasn't pretty. One play and an
Against
interception.
man,
We'll see if they
Jones
can
play
do
a lot of
better.
success. The
I want to
fullback
see
is
if they want to go
typically
ahead and throw
the best
the ball
cover
again
three
now on this
option. You
drive.
want to put a running back here,
Happened on the
not
last
really
one,
great
on the first play.
but ultimately that's a little bit zone.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
Then you also have the A-route here.
A big play that time on a catch and run.
Comeback route.
Rodgers
Because
now
that was
first
really
down.
well because he's really jammed.
Oh, you gotta catch that, baby.
We're reading high to low. We're reading
As a defensive
short
back,
cross
you
and
have some
fullback to
weapons at
tight
your
end to
disposal
receive
that we
on the
don't
comeback
often
route.
talk about.
Except
You
we
can
have
read the
the
receiver's
PA
eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and it allows you to make a play on it, and oftentimes knock it away.
Route, tight end over the top. One of the two should be open against pretty much any zone.
Late
They really
game,
have
he
a
makes the
ton of
grab.
man beaters, so
And he's
even
going to have
if
another
it's
first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys
the best option. The
18.
route that he's in
That was good
kind of is a
protection
man
there.
beater,
No, that was
but
great
I don't
protection
find
there
that
because it
it's,
allowed him to lock
it's,
in on his
it
receiver.
develops quickly
Although
enough.
I think he was
So,
looking for his tight
it's a
end on
man
the
beat
corner
route,
all
but
the
it's
way.
just something that's
Nice connection there for a really nice game.
But it takes forever to get open, so to me it's slanted.
Come on, catch that shit.
Except we got the power option. To me, the pitcher is
Receiver
definitely the
coaches
better
preach to
option
their
to play
guys
with
all the
most
time.
quarterbacks.
Separation, that's what's going to make the play
Just
successful.
warps the ball
That time
5
there was
yards
very
ahead
little, and I
and
think
makes
they were
it very
actually fortunate. They
to
were
the very
simply
least
knocked
get
away and not intercepted.
a couple of yards in the game. But you can see right here
Rodgers again here on
it's
second and
essentially
10.
like a pass. It's a run play with a pass that gets you running back 5 yards
Shot
ahead of
as
the
he
play.
tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang
So
on
that's
third
right
down.
there.
He did a fine job there not hitting him in the first drive, and I got to tell you, you can often miss time that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get it, sometimes you panic as well, think I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Ooh, good shit.
Valdez Scantling for the Packers touchdown. Marquez Valdez-Scantling there to make the grab. And the Packers have a chance to tie the ball game here in the final minute of the third. So now Rodgers will lead the Packers up to go for two. They'll look to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
I know the natural instinct is to kick the extra point there and tie the game. But here in this spot, at this point of the game, is there another coach maybe weighing in with what to do here?
Well, I think that analytics are starting to say with it being from the
Ooh, we got a piss.
for too often that makes sense. But there, I still like going for one, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
You can have success against cover 2 man, but in that scenario, it's literally one motion somebody across the field.
My first instinct, but I'm understanding how the game is starting to change.
All right.
This is, it's all about once you get outside
We
here,
should go for
it's
two
just
all
make a
the
lot
time. I
of,
want to see if
stuff
we ever
happen,
get a
but the
team
speed
that
definitely
actually
helps
starts
you
to
get to
do
the edge.
that.
And then obviously
Wow.
the agility will help you with any one-on-one matchups you have at the end here. This is a really good play, by the way. I mean, this is the way that these blockers pulled there. I didn't use it very well. It's a very explosive play. Next up,
This is Elliott. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the third quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the fourth quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
And they won't be able to run another play. Time has expired on this third quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now a second down and 6. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Elliott. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 51 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
Tackle made by Devondre Campbell.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And he's got this pretty close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Packers' 13-yard line. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard. They'll run it with Elliott. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I can be in that huddle with that
fucking phone call.
Exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get it behind us and let's go.
Typically that pullback will take that cornerback
So
and help you get
first
to the
and
edge for a
goal,
pretty
6 points here. We're
Next
going
up,
a
we
long way
have
toward
the
wrapping
triple
this
option.
one up.
So another play we're going to make sure you have a running back at the fullback spot.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play that time, and it
Going against
sets up
Rams defense
second
again.
and
There's
goal.
no defender on the outside here. It's going to
Brandon,
be
I'm
best
going
to
to tell you,
hold the
this
quarterback
is
and
football
pitch it out to
time
the
to
running
be.
back there.
Inside the
It
10-yard
did get out.
line.
For
That's
some
like
reason,
drawing
they
a
have like
line in the
delays
sand.
on
Who's
these
going to make the
plays now.
stand
You're
here?
going to spread the line
Defensive guys, they know if he gets in the end zone, this ball game is over.
Take as much
The
as you can.
Cavs with the
Or
football
a lot
right
of
now,
times it does
they're
the thing
thinking,
to
let's
the
just
outside as
pound
well,
it in
but I
there.
haven't
Gotta
seen that
hold
look
him to
yet.
3
So
to keep
Jerry
this a
wants the big
one-score
spread
game.
alignment right up the gut. Going to take what I can, although a lot of times you can take this wide left and get bigger plays. They said they're going to keep giving me that spread look because of the receivers. I'm just going to keep taking this. It's an easy 5 yards. Then when your opponent tries to close those gaps, that's when you're going to want to hit him to the outside. So
Try
they're
again here from the 7
go to
on
the outside.
second and
Look
goal.
at Frank Clark has like some suction ability there. He's always catching me, but there we go. Nothing really outside. I guess I should go just take this wide.
Fourth quarter, 2 minutes on the clock, and it's a one-point game.
So there's multiple looks you can go to there, but if there's a huge hole right in front of you, obviously you're going to want to take it. It's an easy, consistent 5-yard run, and then you force them to close it, then you can go outside with the same reads. Haven't really gone to the pitch side yet, so I'm going to force it here just so I can get it to that side, even though that was not a good look. Typically, you don't want to do it where there's a box safety or an extra defender of any kind. But you can see that you can have a lot of success even with that. So he's going to do it once again. Like I said, extra box defender. Got to catch him in that local where I can basically, win that with the pitch. And you can still have success with it, but ultimately it's going to be best when there's nothing really out there. Like right here, it's always going to make sense to go the opposite direction. It's just a better, much easier road to get yardage. Except we got the stretch a little bit as well. Another really goal line play. Best to run the ball against cover 3, cover 4.
So decision time now, because a field goal keeps it a one-score game. What do you think?
Well, I'm looking at the down and distance, and that's where the issue comes in. It's not short enough that it's a no-brainer. You go for it. You have to analyze this one. To me, you take the field goal, you take the point,
you can see how
and
we're
you want
getting
to risk
success.
it.
So, you can score easy touchdowns with that stretch play.
This is first
And then against cover 3,
opportunity
cover
of the
4,
entire contest, but he's able to connect.
stretch, which you can see right there. He went to safety in the box. That additional safety in the box is still going to matter.
Kickers that you and I
Except we got the triple switch.
they want their opportunity.
So now this play here, the dive is probably lesser of the play. I mean, if you have a hole right in front of you, you can take the dive, it's going to be the safest. Now, typically looking for outside contain, and I can just flip this out. The quarterback can typically be a blocker as well, but the flip is really where it's at in this particular play. It's not where it's at in some of the other plays. With this particular play, it is here. Like I said, I don't want to run this with that extra safety in the box. It's going to be a scenario where I want to change that, and that's something that I can't really get away from. So this is something I would switch to a different play and kind of really try to counter.
And for them, a touchdown their last go
without that
they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for breakers and counters because you know that makes some adjustments.
As you can see, nothing down here, so I'm just going to go to Lamar. We're just going to have a very good play. As you can see, we're just going to actually
Damn, that should have been a pick. What the fuck?
Extra defender. If there's no extra defender on the strong side, we're typically going to have a lot of success. Here they actually react to people after the fact, and I can just flip it out. Which to me, like I said, the flip's probably the most consistent play, but you also get trouble with the flip. Here we're going to even this extra safety button. You can see
good shit.
And then there's an extra defender. Here we have like cover 2, this is a perfect look for that. I'm going to hold this for a long time. Like I said, because I have a lot of speed, I can keep it. With my running back's faster, I can typically pitch it to the running back, but there's a lot of really good plays to be had here. Except we have a triple option. This play is going to be very quick. An actual running back and fullback spot. So we're going to do that. So this play is going to be best to just hold to the running back coming around there. He's kind of off the block. He's like a little too close to Clark. But that's going to be the best look.
We lose this, we gotta play another one of these motherfuckers. I gotta blaze up for that. Good shit.
So that's going to be one of the scenarios where you're definitely going to want to run away. But it's really just a box count right here once again. Got a guy on the outside shoulder of the outside linebacker. We're going to try to run it in the opposite direction. Here we go once again. I'm going to try to go the opposite way just to show that is an option. You see, sometimes you just really get that base stuff available, depending on who your quarterback is right there. That's kind of a late pitch. But it's going to, the best results can be had by just basically one hit button, just getting around to the left side. That's going to be the most consistent part of the play. Here, like I said, I can take this. If I have a real speed back, I can go all the way outside. As you can see, we have a lot of success. You're going to get some one-on-one looks with this particular play. That's why you need to make sure you have a fast running back at that spot, because that's the best spot.
So call it one gain on the sneak, and now
So
they're still
you have a except we have
You absolutely have to. You save them for this situation, but you have to use them.
So if you have a whole
Cowboys signal for their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines,
I find this play best to kind of be run
likely the
wide
play of the
over
game
here.
here, trailing the final quarter and going for
Ultimately, this is a very good run play that can create like an inside zone and also convert kind of like to a stretch play. So really nothing in front of the guard. So
good fucking game.
Let's just say he's not going to deter me because I'll probably run right past him. And you can see how we're just having success. Right the gut. Typically, not the gut run towards the left. But like I said, you can take this outside once you get through that first area. So you see, that's not even a fullback doing that. He's having a lot of success taking on that lead block to that linebacker. Next up, we have the PA boot slide. Against man or zone, just put the A route.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And still 2 timeouts defensively, but even if they choose to use those, 3 kneel downs should be enough to get out of here with a victory.
And that's also being stated into the head coach's headset.
Yeah.
The guy upstairs who monitors this at the end of the game, little clock management 101.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Your crossing check down.
They go to Elliott again.
Or you just motion
And
it.
that won't buy him
And
much
now you
room.
have a
Just a
little bit
1
better
yard
two
gain
level
to the
pass. Although I
5.
find it's probably
And
best
we're
to
just
put the
inside of 10 seconds to go. They'll run their final timeout.
You know, it's just better
9
as far as
seconds
layers. It's a
left.
better check down against the man. As you can see right there, it's also, you know, going to be best. Except we have the PA tight end slide. This play's going to be best
They'd
against
like to avoid punting from
cover
their own
3,
end zone,
cover
so
4
they can
zone.
use
This
something
guy is
here on 3rd down.
underneath those off coverages
Prescott.
pretty easily. Like I said, that's something that
Looking
is
for a
getting
running back, and he's got
pretty
it.
much immediately just leaving things wide open.
There he goes, left side.
The A-Routes can be best.
And he takes it in for the score.
B-Route
The game's final play, so it doesn't
But ultimately, I can feel like you just leave him back.
I hear that.
Against cover 2 zone, can motion across and put him on a streak. And the B route, or the X route here, rather, I should say, will have a lot of success outside because of the flat setup. Also, want to typically run from the open side of the field, but you can see it doesn't really matter. So motion across, play action quickly, and the X route here, you pull it past the outside. The X route is going to have a very big play against cover 2 zone. Except out of the pistol, we remember we got the post shot. I mean, the check downs are really good, but ultimately this is the much better play, motioning this guy in and you know, bombing it up over the top. But if you don't have that, just remember you do have your check downs. And like I said, I mean, I might not have the separation I would have got Hollywood Brown running it, but you can see it's behind the coverage. The crossers will get open against just about anything, man or zone. You just have to take, you know, take whichever one gets open first, I guess, is the easiest way to say it. If you really want to hold those safeties down, you can put the A route on a pass block also. And I like to roll in the direction of the throw. And as you can see right here, we're getting past it, even if I'm not catching it. Like I said, the Hollywood Brown will be even easier. Except we got the PA comebacks. It's another cover 3 one-play touchdown on old gen consoles. Against cover 3, you have to run this from the hash mark to the open side of the field, bring this receiver in, put him on a fade. You have to wait till that receiver passes 35 yards before you throw the ball, or you will not be able to pass lead, which is ultimately what you need to make this play work. As you can see right there, gets past the safety. Wasn't the best throw, slowed down. But just to watch the replay real quick, just to see what you're looking for as far as the cornerback goes. I mean, he will slow down at about, you know, halfway there. And then at this point, you still have to wait till he passes 35 yards before you get the ball out of the quarterback's hands, or else you will not be able to pass it. I'll show you that in a second. Although